Hello Satnam, and welcome to Awakening Your Ecstatic Potential online course, level 1 with me, Shakti Sundari. I wanted to make this short video just to welcome you if you've joined the course to study in your own time, and to say thank you first of all for investing in yourself and in me and in this course. I really hope that you'll enjoy each of the videos and the practices and just enjoy the journey of this commitment to yourself. Since you're not joining me live for the videos, I wanted to give a few guidelines on ways that you could really enhance and benefit from studying in your own time with each of these videos and these practices. So first of all, just to remind you that there are 14 half-hour videos that comprise this course. Each of them contains an opening meditation and a new and different practice. And they are progressive. So first of all, it's really advised, although of course it doesn't matter, nothing bad's going to happen, but I do suggest that you work from number 1 through to number 14 and start at the beginning and work your way through, because I've designed this level and the next level, level 2, so that things are progressive, and it will all make more sense if you start from the beginning and carry on. So that's the first thing. So when you go to access the videos, start at the beginning and work your way through. Of course, the videos you can find very easily either by scrolling down or going to the tab on the left and clicking on videos. The other thing to say is that it's really great and optimizes the intention of this course and of your own, what you receive from it, if you're able to set aside half an hour or actually 40 minutes, ideally a day, at the same time of day, as much as you can. I know that life isn't always like that. You know, I'm a mum to 2 children and got many busy things going on, so I do understand, but I do also know that something that helps us to establish a new habit is to just make that commitment, to set the alarm, to know in your mind that, or write in your diary that it's this set time every day. It just helps you to get the habit going. And sometimes there will be days when you don't feel like it, you don't want to get up or go to this particular practice at this particular time of day. There will be resistance, where if you've just made the definite commitment, you've blocked that time out, it just makes it easier to hold the commitment, and you'll be amazed at how different you may feel from the beginning to the end of the time. So make that commitment as much as you can to show up at the same time each day. I do advise doing it first thing in the morning, again, as much as you can. Again, I just know from personal experience of my training as a yoga teacher, when we were getting up to start practice at 5 in the morning, that there's a particular time in the morning before the sun rises that's really sweet and precious for practice, where it seems as if the fruits of our practice are enhanced. So I've when I do these courses live, I do them from 6:30 to 7 a.m. So that's a fairly decent time. It's not unreasonably early. So you could try that timing for yourself. You could try earlier. Of course, you can try later. And if it really doesn't work for you for whatever reason, then all right, make it 5 or 6 or 6:30 every day. But try to stick with the same time. Those 2 sweet spots, first thing in the morning and then as the sun sets, are really great times for a regular practice. Okay, what's my next point? Find a place, create a space, know where your place is going to be that you're going to use for your practice, and make sure that you will be undisturbed, that it's quiet, that it's warm, and that you make it beautiful and you make it into a sacred practice space for yourself. So when I'm teaching these courses, I set the space up the night before, and I make sure it's clear and clean and tidy, so that when I come down in the morning, it's ready. I have everything ready. And I set my candles up. I'm burning candles. I burn some frankincense or some incense. So you might have a different ritual. You might have crystals that you would like to have, or an altar that you'd like to create, or cards that you want to pull, or flowers. You know, create your own beautiful sacred space. That's really important too. So it's a place you look forward to going to that is sacred to you. I also suggest having water, and this is a kind of obvious things, and cushions, bolsters, blankets. For some of the movement practices, you might need support, or a yoga mat to sit on, or a cushion to put underneath your bottom or your knees, a blanket to be warm if you're relaxing. So just make sure you have all those things so you don't need to keep getting up and down. I like to have a notebook and pen handy so that if insights arise, I can jot things down, or once the half hour of engaging with the video is complete and then there are other insights or realizations that come, you can write them down then when they're fresh. It's really good to get into that habit if you can. Questions, feedback, discussion, please feel free to post your questions on this page, your insights, your experiences to share. We're a small group relatively at the moment, but my intention is for this to grow and for us to engage and feel part of a community. I'll do my best to answer your questions, and if it's something that feels really personal, then of course write to me directly. But as much as it feels comfortable for you, share in the forum just to encourage that sense of community and sharing. You know, we always learn from hearing what others have to say. We always do. Then when you've gone through a video and you've experienced the practice, do it again, try it another time, and then when you get to the point where you don't need my instructions, you can begin to make it your own, or to just come back and replay the video. So repeat the exercise, repeat the practice, fast forward once you feel that you don't need to see or hear certain parts. You know, feel free to do that. But allow yourself to receive and experience the practice at least a couple of times, because just once might not be enough, particularly if it's something that you're really new to, like the breathing or the embodied awareness. You know, you want to give yourself time to really let that become more familiar to you than it might already be, and just keep repeating the practice. And then in your own time, you can begin to practice it when you're not doing the video. So taking the breathing practices, taking some of the other practices into your day and using them as tools when you're sitting in traffic, when you're sitting on the bus, when you're in the car, when you're cooking dinner, you know, when you're in the cinema, all kinds of different environments. You can begin to apply and use these practices and remember them. This is the other great thing. And once you've completed the course and you've repeated and you've made something your own and asked any questions, of course you can then also take each of these techniques and see them as building blocks or tools, and you can create your own beautiful practice out of stacking them up together or taking pieces from each one. You know, don't feel that you have to religiously stick to exactly the format that I've suggested. And that anything bad will happen if you don't. So after you have embodied and practiced and are familiar, mix and match, get creative, build upon, expand, do for longer periods of time. You know, follow what feels great for you. But also just remember that there is the benefit to having a disciplined practice. Oh, I can't read my writing there. Oh, what does that say? Oh, yeah, I've said that. The final thing is always, always, always honor your body. So you may be on your moon cycle as a woman. You may be ill. You may not be as flexible as I am and be able to do some of the things I show you. You may not have as much energy in this moment. So honor that, please. Never force yourself to do something that doesn't feel right. If I'm showing dancing or breathing or shaking or some yoga posture and it doesn't work for your body, you do your best, but you find a way to stay in alignment with the practice whilst honoring yourself. Yeah, and you take responsibility and you take ownership and you make that practice your own in a way that works for you. It's really, really important. Really important. So you're owning and taking responsibility. And have fun and enjoy, and notice any subtle shifts and changes along the way. And sometimes there might be unexpected things that aren't necessarily ecstatic and that aren't necessarily joyous. Just to let you know, your ego may revolt, your body may resist. There may be moments when you think, I don't like this is boring, I'm not enjoying it, and just notice that. Sometimes when we have the most resistance, it's where we're going to get the most benefit. Sometimes it could also just be clues. But just sustain yourself through that and hold on to the sense of commitment and have an open mind. If you are familiar with some of the practices, just have an open mind and go into them. You know, I've done loads of different practices, and I still go to workshops and classes where someone's teaching something that I know, and I can kind of get that cynical thing of like, oh, I know this, I've already done it. But I allow myself to drop into it like a beginner. And when I allow that dropping in as a beginner, I always have a new experience. So don't think you know it all. There's always a new and deeper level to be discovered, even if I'm showing you a practice that you've already done before. Okay, well, I think that's it. So once again, welcome, welcome, welcome. Enjoy your self-study. Enjoy feeling part of this group. Feel free to reach out, and thank you so much for joining me. Level 2 is also available, so if you love this and want to do more, then come on over for Level 2 once you've done Level 1. Much love to you. Sat Nam.